Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope all are fine. Our next topic is Human Development, Chapter 4, Unit 2. So, today we'll study all about human development, growth and development. What do we mean by human development? First, let me tell you this. By this, we mean enlarging people's freedom and opportunities and also enhancing their well being. Growth and development, they are two aspects of human beings. Both refer to changes over a period of time. The difference between the two terms is that growth is quantitative. It can be measured in numbers, and growth may be positive as well as negative. Whereas when we talk of development, it means a qualitative change which is always value positive, whereas growth is value neutral. तो ग्रोथ और डेवलपमेंट से व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय दीज टू टर्म्स इज कि ग्रोथ जो है इट इज़ क्वांटिटेटिव, उसको हम मेजर कर सकते हैं, है ना, क्वांटिटेटिव मीन्स क्वांटिटी, जबकि डेवलपमेंट क्वालिटी बताती है, क्वालिटी, और ये ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव होती है, जबकि ग्रोथ नेगेटिव भी होती है और पॉजिटिव भी होती है. अब इसको आपको मैं एक एग्जाम्पल से समझाती हूँ कि इफ़ अ पॉपुलेशन ऑफ अ कंट्री और अ सिटी इट ग्रोज फ्रॉम 1 लाख to 2 lakh और to 5 lakh ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, तो हम देखते हैं हमें जब इतनी पॉपुलेशन बढ़ जाएगी एक सिटी की, तो हमें पता है कि वो कंट्री बहुत ग्रो कर रही है ना. द पॉपुलेशन, वी विल से द सिटी हैज़ ग्रोन. But if the facilities like housing, provision of basic services, and other characteristics remain the same, then this growth has not been accompanied by development. अगर वहाँ पे दूसरी फैसिलिटीज़ का इम्प्रूवमेंट नहीं हुआ, दूसरी फैसिलिटीज़, बेसिक सर्विसेज वहाँ पे वैसी की वैसी है, जबकि पॉपुलेशन तो बहुत बढ़ गई, ग्रोथ तो बहुत हो गई, लेकिन डेवलपमेंट नहीं हुआ, तो फिर वो वहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट लेवल कम होगा, दो ग्रोथ रेट में भी हाई. तो ग्रोथ में भी हाई बट डेवलपमेंट की जो क्वालिटी हियर, व्हाट डू वी मीन, हाउ वी कैन लिंक इट, कि वहाँ का डेवलपमेंट जो क्वालिटी है वो कम है. ओके. For many decades, a country's development was measured in terms of economic growth. The income level of the people was more important. Before 1990s, a country's development was gauged only as a measure of its economic progress. This implied that countries with better economic conditions were more developed, while the poor countries were less developed. This, however, did not show us the true nature of development, because in many cases, students, in many cases, the benefit of economic growth did not reach the common man who deserved it the most. The quality of life of the people, the opportunities they have, and the freedom they enjoy are also important aspects of development. So, the above mentioned ideas were clearly spelt out for the first time in the late 1980s and early 1990s by two great economists of Asia. The first one was Dr. Mehboob ul Haq of Pakistan, and second was Dr. Amartya Sen of India. They gave a totally different concept of Human Development Index in 1990. According to Dr. Mehboob ul Haq, development is all about enlarging people's choices, in order to lead long, healthy lives with dignity. Dr. Huck believed that people are central to all development. The choices of the people are not fixed, but they keep on changing. The chief objective of development is to create conditions in which people can live meaningful lives. A meaningful life is not just a long one, it must be a life with some purpose. This means that people must be healthy, be able to develop their talents, and participate in the society and be free to achieve their goals. Only their economic level, their economic status is not important. Their happiness is equally important. Dr. Amartya Sen expressed the opinion that an increase in freedom is the main objective of development. Increasing freedom is one of the most effective ways of bringing about development. He laid such emphasis on the role of social and political institutions and processes of increasing freedom. So, both these economists they laid more stress on the all-round development of the people and not only of growth in terms of economic प्रोग्रेस. तो आया बच्चों समझ में कि क्या डिफरेंस था 1990s के पहले जो ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स था. इट लेड स्ट्रेस ऑन टोटली डिफरेंट कंसेप्ट. इट गेव इम्पोर्टेंस टू द इनकम लेवल ऑफ द पीपल. जिस कंट्री का इनकम लेवल हाई है उस कंट्री को ज़्यादा डेवलप्ड माना जाता था, लेकिन उस केस में जो पुअर पीपल है उनको हम निगलेक्ट करते थे, है ना. तो धीरे धीरे ये 1990 से कंसेप्ट चेंज होने लगा एंड दे स्टार्टेड गिविंग मोर इम्पोर्टेंस टू अदर एरियाज ऑफ लाइफ ऑल्सो, to the happiness of the people, to their all-round development, to the basic facilities, development of basic facilities. Okay, so following three were the most important aspects of human development. The first was leading a long and healthy life. Second, attaining ability to gain knowledge. And third, second means attaining ability to gain knowledge, that is education. Then third is having enough means to be able to live a decent life. A decent standard of life of the people became also very important. The 4 pillars of Human Development Index. Just as any building is supported by pillars, the idea of human development is also supported by the concepts of equity, sustainability, productivity, and empowerment. Let us discuss them one by one. First is equity. Equity means making equal access to opportunities available to everybody. The opportunities available to people must be equal, irrespective of their gender, race, income, and in the case of India, even caste. Yet, this is very often not the case and happens in almost every society. Normally, the poor and persons belonging to socially and economically backward groups fail to have access to equity. For example, in India, a large number of men and women, they belonging to socially and economically backward groups, they drop out of school. This shows how the choices of these groups get limited by not having access to knowledge. So, equity से क्या मतलब है कि सबको equal opportunities मिलनी चाहिए, हर किसी को equal access मिलनी चाहिए कि वो आगे बढ़ सके, चाहे वो कोई भी जेंडर का हो, मेल हो, फीमेल हो, कोई भी रेस हो, कोई भी कास्ट को बिलोंग करता हो या कोई भी इनकम ग्रुप को बिलोंग करता हो. Second is sustainability. Sustainability, it refers to continuity in the availability of opportunities. This means that each generation must have the same opportunities. Therefore, we must use our environmental, financial, and human resources in such a way that our future generations are not deprived of these opportunities. Let me explain this with an example. A good example is about the importance of sending girls to school. If a community does not lay stress on the importance of sending its girls' children to school, many opportunities will be lost to these young women when they grow up. Their career choices will be severely curtailed, and this would affect other aspects of their lives. So each generation must ensure the availability of choices and opportunities to its future generations. So, sustainability, it means continuity in availability of opportunities. Equal opportunities must be given to all, whether they are boys or girls. Third is productivity. Productivity, it means that human labor productivity or productivity in terms of human work put in by labor. Such productivity must be constantly enriched by building capabilities of people. Ultimately, it is people who are the real wealth of the nations. Therefore, efforts must be put to increase their knowledge or provide better health facilities, ultimately leading to better work efficiency. तो प्रोडक्टिविटी से मतलब है कि रेगुलर ऐसे स्टेप्स लेने चाहिए कि ह्यूमन प्रोडक्टिविटी इंक्रीज हो बाय प्रोवाइडिंग बेटर हेल्थ फैसिलिटीज़, बाय इंक्रीजिंग देयर नॉलेज, सो दैट पीपल आर मोर productive, they are more intelligent, they can lead to more production in the country. Fourth is empowerment. It means to have the power to make choices. Such power comes from increasing freedom and capability. Good governance and people oriented policies are required to empower the people. Where the government is good, it will provide more. When the government is good, it will be efficient, transparent, it will be accountable, responsive, and it will help the people to participate more in making the policies, and it will follow proper rules and regulations. It will cooperate with the people and will provide security to them. So, a good government which gives its people more opportunities, it empowers its people, that country will be work effectively, the human development index of that country will be higher. Next is approaches to human development. Four important approaches are there to human development. First is the income approach, second is the welfare approach, third is minimum needs approach, and fourth is capability approach. So, let us discuss the first one, income approach. This is one of the oldest approaches to human development. Human development is seen as being linked only to income. यहाँ पर ये सबसे पुराना अप्रोच है और इस अप्रोच में सिर्फ इनकम लेवल of the people was given more importance. The idea is that the level of income reflects the level of freedom an individual enjoys. Higher the level of income, higher is the level of human development. तो यहाँ पे उनकी और दूसरी नीड्स को इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं दी गई, ओनली इनकम लेवल वॉज गिवन मोर इम्पोर्टेंस. Second was welfare approach. This approach looks at human beings as beneficiaries or as targets of all development activities. This approach argues for higher government expenditure on education, health, social secondary and amenities. People are not participants in development, but they are only passive recipients. The government is responsible for increasing levels of human development by maximizing expenditure on welfare. तो वेलफेयर अप्रोच में गवर्नमेंट का रोल ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है. पीपल तो पैसिव रिसीवर्स हैं. It depends upon the government कि what type of policies it is making for its people. Third is basic needs approach. This approach was initially proposed by international labor organizations. 6 basic needs, that is health, education, food, water supply, sanitation, and housing, were identified. The question of human choices is ignored, and the emphasis is on the provision of basic needs of defined sections of the society. So 6 basic needs ILO इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने डिसाइड करी और वो सबको प्रोवाइड करना था. उस बेसिस पे ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स फ्रेम किया गया. फोर्थ इज कैपेबिलिटी अप्रोच. This approach is associated with Professor Amartya Sen. Building human capabilities in the areas of health, education, and access to resources is the key to increasing human development, which later on became an important indicator of Human Development Index. So, these approaches to human development must be clear. Next is measuring human development index. So human development is measured in terms of human development index. Now it measures average achievement in basic human development in one simple composite index and produces a ranking of countries on the basis of their performance in key areas of health, education, and access to resources. These rankings are based on a score between 0 and 1 that a country earned from its record in key areas of health, education, and access to resources. तो ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स जो है उसका स्कोर 0 से 1 तक होता है. ओके और जो कंट्रीज़ ये देखा जाता है कि उनके इनकम लेवल के साथ साथ उन कंट्रीज़ की हेल्थ कैसी है, वहाँ के लोगों की एजुकेशन लेवल कैसा है और उनको असेस टू डिफरेंट रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल है या नहीं, इन तीनों चीज़ों को भी देखा जाता है. बाय हेल्थ वी मीन लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी एट बर्थ. एजुकेशन लेवल में कि हाउ मेनी चिल्ड्रन आर एबल टू रीड एंड राइट अप टू द एज ऑफ 7. एंड असेस टू रिसोर्सेज, वेदर उनको रिसोर्सेज सारे अवेलेबल है या नहीं. तो इन 3 क्राइटेरिया को देखा जाता है. लेट अस डिस्कस देम वन बाय वन. फर्स्ट इज हेल्थ. द इंडिकेटर चोजन टू असेस हेल्थ इज लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी एट बर्थ. इट मीन्स दैट पीपल हैव अ बेटर चॉइस टू लीड longer and healthier life. Higher the life expectancy at birth, higher is the Human Development Index. Second is education. Education here involves adult literacy rate and gross enrollment ratio in the schools. It means that a country should have larger number of adults who are able to read and write and larger number of children enrolled in schools to be placed higher in Human Development Index. जितना एजुकेशन लेवल हाई होगा उतना ही ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स हाई होगा. थर्ड इज असेस टू रिसोर्सेज. असेस टू रिसोर्सेज इज मेजर्ड in terms of their purchasing powers. This is measured in US dollars. तो जितना परचेजिंग पावर होगा उस कंट्री का उतना ही वहाँ का ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स हाई होगा. Each of these dimensions is given a weightage of 1:3. The Human Development Index is a sum total of the weights assigned to all these dimensions. The closer a score is to 1, the greater is the level of human development. Therefore, a scale of 0.983 would be considered a very high, whereas 0.268 would mean a very low level of human development. Now, what are the attainments and shortfalls of this Human Development Index? Let us first discuss the attainments or the advantages. Attainment is an indication of what has been achieved in areas of human development. However, it is not the most reliable measure because it does not give any information about the actual distribution. Shortfalls is an index which measures the shortfall in human development. It includes several aspects such as probability of not surviving till the age of 40, the adult literacy rate, the number of people who do not have access to clean water, and the number of small children who are underweight. So, Human Development Index is not the actual indicator of the existing situations in the society or in a country. Human Development Index was first published in 1990 by the United Nations Development Programme, that is UNDP. Since then, it is published every year. This report gives us an interesting rank-wise list of the member countries according to the level of human development. The Human Development Index and the Human Poverty Index are two important indices to measure the human development used by UNDP. Now, Bhutan is the only country in the world to officially proclaim the gross national happiness as the measure of the country's progress. Care is taken to see that material progress and technological developments do not cause any harm to the environment or other aspects of cultural and spiritual life of the Bhutanese. It implies that material progress cannot be achieved at the cost of happiness. So, gross national happiness encourages us to think of the spiritual, non material, and qualitative aspects of human development. Now, when we compare the human development ranking on an international level, we find that 59 countries are there where the level of human development is very high. 53 countries are there where the human development is high. Very high means above 0.800. High means 0.701 up to 0.799. And 39 countries are there where the Human Development Index is medium, that is between 0.55 up to 0.700, and 38 countries where the human development is at a very low level, that is below 0.549. Now, different countries are categorized in different groups.